Hey guys, welcome back to more gameplay videos. I didn't think I was going to do more gameplay, but I realized I went to SCG CON Las Vegas and I did really well in the limited championship. So this is going to be a series of videos. I recorded almost all of my matches at the limited championship. I didn't record the first two rounds because I don't know, I was a little like nervous or whatever and just wanted to like get my bearings and get settled before I started recording stuff. So I'm just going to set up the championship a little bit, and then we're going to get into round one. So this is the deck that I built. So first you played 7 rounds of sealed. So I actually didn't know how many rounds we were playing when I sat down, and I didn't ask my opponent because I like didn't want to know, honestly, because I knew that at the other SCG cons they played 7 rounds of sealed and then they did a top 8 draft. So like if you go all the way to the finals, you play 10 rounds of limited in one day, which is just like obnoxious. Like that's such an absurd amount of limited to play in a day. So I kind of didn't want to know, but someone did tell me that we're playing 6 rounds, they said. And then round 6, I find out that we're actually playing 7 rounds and then the top 8 draft. So anyway, so he did 7 rounds of sealed and a top 8 draft. So that's 3 rounds of draft, 7 rounds of sealed. And you just build one sealed deck and you play all 7 rounds with that one deck. So this is the deck that I built. So let's go through that. So I've got a really good curve, actually. So I've got 3 of the family cycles. I really like these cards. They're kind of just great threshold fixing, honestly. I mean, not like great fixing, but they're great 2-drops. Like I can play my Harassing Ruffians on turn 3 or my Band of Thieves on turn 3 because I have these families a lot of the time. And then Scorpions are just great. Rimland Nomads are amazing. And then Cloud Spirits are like not really something you play on turn 2, but they're very good when you do eventually play them. And Spectral Stalker is like the worst card in my deck. I actually had a Redbreast Robin in my sideboard, and I was looking at it later, and I don't know why I didn't just play it over the Spectral Stalker. I like playing one Robin in all of my decks. I don't like to have 2 Robins, but one Robin I think is great, and Spectral Stalker is just kind of bad. Anyway, and then I've got 4 3-mana 3-power minions. That's pretty perfect. And then I have 3 squires. I typically like to have exactly 2 squires. 3 is pushing it a little bit, but maybe that's a reason that I just put the Spectral Stalker in because I really just want to have a 2-mana 2-power minion on turn 2 and then play a squire when I can. But yeah, 3 squires is great. I prefer the Reckless Squire. I mean, Weightless Squire is playable, but it's not the best one. And then I've got a Lumbering Giant. You just want to have 4-mana 4-power things. Roaming Monster, 5-mana 4-power things are also just good. And then I've got some bombs. So I've got Monstrous Lion. Obviously, it's just incredible. Like, pretty much every time I played this, it was just like, play this, eat your 3-power thing, and you're just ahead by a mile. And then Nimbus Djinn, I don't think I discarded like a single card to Nimbus Djinn the entire thing, but I mean, 6-mana 4-power Airborne is just a great card, and it's very threatening, so you kind of just have to kill it when you see it. And then Highland Clansman is my one expensive card. This is like the best 7-mana thing at Ordinary for sure. Like, just the ability that it has charge, like it affects the board right away. 7 mana is a lot, but if you get to it, you just get to play it and kill their thing, or you get to just deal a bunch of damage and put them on death's door or something. And then I only have 5 non-minion spells, which is the reason that I'm playing Tactical Move. Tactical Move is a good card, honestly, but I just don't like to play it unless I'm in a deck like this that just has tons and tons of minions. So this is 19 minions, 5 non-minions. And then I do have 3 squires, which are like an extra piece of interaction. And then like charge minions are also kind of interaction. Nimbus Djinn is kind of interaction, but just Tactical Move is just always going to have multiple targets and you're going to get a lot of value out of it. I think I had a second one, but I really just don't want to play more than one of these. Powerflight's just kind of incredible. Like, you often get a 2-for-1 with this. It's really way better than I thought at the beginning of the format. Another tricky thing is that it does give Airborne until your next turn, so I honestly probably forget about that most of the time, but if you just play this on a minion and then attack their thing diagonally with it or whatever, and then they pass, or it goes to their turn, and then they try to like untap and kill your thing, they can't actually just have a regular minion tap and attack your airborne minion because it's airborne. So that's a tricky thing. I don't know if it comes up at all during any of my games. Maybe I spot at times that I misplay and allow them to kill my thing when they really shouldn't have. But anyway, grapple shot, obviously everyone knows it. It's incredible. Lava flow is just kind of a busted removal spell. Like, you often get 2-for-1s. It's great at dealing the death blow and all of that. And then Poison Nova is another bomb. It really shouldn't be an exceptional. Yeah, there were a few times I think in this tournament that I get like a 3-for-1 with Poison Nova. And then I'm just 6-6, so 4 Wastelands, 3 Spires, and then I've got a Lookout, 2 Treetop Hideouts, a Forge, and a Poisoned Well. Spoiler alert, this Forge, I play 5 games in a row on turn 1. It's just kind of wild that that happened. I only have 1 Forge, and every single game it was like, okay, I play Forge under my avatar, I make a Lance, I pick it up with my Spellslinger. That was really cool. And then other things about this event that I didn't even know going into it was that Sorcerer was legal. I was under the impression that it was banned and that it was going to be a wild card because I think that's what they did at the other SCG cons, but for some reason at this event they just left it as legal. But lucky for me, I didn't run into any sorcerers, and I think the only people that opened sorcerers maybe didn't perform very well, and I don't think there were any sorcerers at the top tables. Like once you got later into the event, like if you looked at the top 5 or 10 tables, I don't think there was a single person that was playing sorcerers. So that was very lucky. I think it should be banned or it should be a wild card. It's just so busted and it's at ordinary. Like there's no reason for it to be legal. It wasn't supposed to be a legal avatar when they created alpha. Like it was the default. Anyway, and then Battle Mage. I saw like one person playing Battle Mage, I think, and I heard that they had a scary deck, but they must have not made it very far because I never ended up seeing them. Yeah, so I think that's it. We can get into round 1 now. All right, so this is round 1. I just put down a tactical move that was in my opening hand. I just don't really want that card in my opening hand. I want to draw it pretty late when I have a bunch of minions in play. I've got a roaming monster. I bottomed a wasteland as well because obviously I just have 3 fire sites in hand. So I want to make sure I get my air sites. My opponent ditches 3 sites, which is very suspicious. I feel like you should never do that unless you're digging for something very specific, like maybe he has a Hamlet or like a Fields of Camlin or something really busted that he's trying to dig for. I'm not really sure. All right. And looks like I'm going second. Yeah, I've got Roaming Monster, I've got a 2-drop and a 3-drop, Blacksmith Family, and Eremos Mercenaries. And then, like I said, I just have turn 1 Forge. He kind of jumps the gun here. I was still making mulligan decisions, so he played a stream and passed. And then I am still making mulligan decisions. I'm not sure if I should bottom this roaming monster. It's not like that impressive of a card, but it is just a 4-power minion, and it's just nice to have one of those during a game. So I bottomed a fire site, and then I drew another fire site. So I've seen 4 fire sites, and then I scried the top of my atlas, and it was another fire site. So I saw 5 fire sites. That's nuts. Is that true? 3, 4. Yeah, so that was the 5th fire site. So I bottomed that. So there's only 1 more fire site in my deck. I mean, there's 2 at the bottom of my spell book, and then just a bunch of air sites. So hopefully I don't draw another fire site. That would be nuts. But turn 1 Forge, make a Lance, pick it up. Turn 2, he plays Pond, and fortunate for me, he doesn't have a Lugbot Cat. He plays a Shellycoat, though, which is very powerful. That's like one of the best 2-drops. And then, of course, I have a Lance, so the thing I'm going to do is drop the Lance with my avatar, play another Wasteland, and then pick it up with a Blacksmith Family. You know, he can't really attack my site because I can just block with the Blacksmith Family. He untaps, he plays Forge, and he does not summon a Lance. And then he thinks for a while, and this is a pretty weird turn, honestly. I'm not really sure what happened on my opponent's side, but he ends up just moving the Shellycoat and not attacking, and then passing, which was like, what just happened? Like, you played a Forge and chose not to pay 1, and then you moved his Shellycoat right in front of my Blacksmith Family, which just has a Lance, and then he passes. So I don't know what really happened there. This is round 3, by the way. I don't think I said, but I didn't record the first 2 rounds. This is round 3, and my opponent this round is Ed. I will say, since nothing's really happening, round one I played Eli and it was a double death door. So like right off the bat, we had a super close game. And I remember him. He said he was like pretty new to sorcery, and he even was like, "Hey, do you want to look at my deck?" And I looked at his deck, and I was like, "I would make no changes. Like you built this deck the way that I would have." And then round two, I played Adam, and I think that one wasn't very close, but I won that one. So I'm 2-0 at this point. Um, and then, yeah, I play a lookout. So Grim Guisarm, Redcap Poweries, Vikings, Helpful Hob, Pirate Ship is his hand. So I'm thinking maybe he thought he had 2 Fire Threshold, and maybe that's why he was like thinking on his turn. I mean, I guess he could have also been thinking, should I put Grim Guisarm on my Shelly coat? But that wouldn't have worked out. So at least he didn't do that. Um, yeah, so I just am like, okay, you don't have any tricks. I guess I just attack your Shelly coat with my Blacksmith family, and I play an Eremos Mercenaries. Um, and the really important thing that's in his hand is he has a red cap power. So that's what I'm gonna have to play around for the rest of the game. So I have to play a 3-power thing next to my 2-power thing, so he doesn't just play the red cap powers and attack my Blacksmith family. So this turn, yeah, his options are Pirate Ship or Red Cap Poweries, and I guess he just doesn't want to trade Red Cap Poweries for Mercenaries, which makes sense. So he just plays Pirate Ship. Um, Unfortunately, like I just don't think you should play Pirate Ship unless you're like Wave Shaper exactly. So like I just have that Forge over there that I can just attack now. I mean, if he knew that he had Pirate Ship in hand, he should have played the Forge on turn 1 and then played the 2 streams on turns 2 and 3 and make like a line of water in the front. But maybe he just didn't have the Pirate Ship in hand and he didn't really think of it. But yeah, he just had kind of an awkward start here. So I played Poisoned Well, deal 1 damage to him, so 19 to 20. And then I got Grapple Shot, I've got Reckless Squire in hand. That was a very good piece of interaction. Yeah, just attack in for 3, and then I play Castle Servant, so now he still can't really get value out of his red cap power. He's like, he could attack my Blacksmith family and I could double block. Of course, I'm fine with him just trading it for my Eremos Mercenaries. For a second, I think about moving over. I don't know why I even consider that. Like, there's just no reason to do that. Yeah, I just have to play around this stupid red cap powers, and hopefully he just plays it at some point, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he draws a spell here, so he can play like Grimgris Arm or Red Cap Powers. Yeah, he just plays the Powers, and obviously I just take the damage, and then he plays Pufferfish as a way to protect his Powers, which makes sense. I mean, he doesn't know what's in my hand, and then I kind of go into the tank here, trying to figure out like how do I get the best possible trade off of this? So I tap to draw a sight. So I have 4 mana. So it's like, okay, I can grapple shot the pufferfish and then attack the poweries. And then it's like, I just traded a grapple shot for a pufferfish. That's not really great. And then I'm just trading a 3-drop for a 3-drop. That's not really a profitable trade either. And then obviously I have this lance. So then it's like, okay, do I use the dude with the lance to then kill the pufferfish for free and leave behind the 1 power body and then trade the 3 power thing for the 3 power thing? That's still not that impressive. So the way that I do this to leave the 3 power thing on board. Oh, actually, no, that's not true. So the line that I go with is I just use the mercenaries to kill a pufferfish. It's like, whatever. I need to get rid of this thing. Like I think my options are either leave the 3 power thing on board and use up my grapple shot, or I get to just use I just use the squire and then I lose the 3 power thing, but it's like, I don't know. It's not that bad of a trade, right? So I'm still trading up. Like I get the value out of my lance. So we both lose a 3-power thing, and then I also just get a 1-power minion, I guess. So not like the most amazing trade or anything, but it was, I think personally, it was a perfectly fine trade to make. I hope you guys like the effort that I put in to have the life totals on screen and the thresholds and the mana and everything. I think it worked out pretty well. It was a bit of a headache to set up, but let me know what you think if you like this setup. This is my plan to use this exact setup for all of the rounds that I'm going to cover. And I'll probably just keep doing this for all future paper events that I do recordings of. So yeah, let me know. And then he plays a 4-power minion. And this is the advice that I'm going to give about this. He should have played that 4-power minion either in the water or one step back. So he should play it on the bonfire. Because then, yeah, like if I have a lance, then like I just get to eat your thing. So yeah, this is a common mistake that people that are pretty new kind of make, which is I'm just gonna put a big thing in front of your slightly smaller thing, and it's like, well, that's not gonna work out. Like you just always have to be thinking about lances, and sometimes you can't play around them, but often you can. So I will say that technically I shouldn't have been able to take this back. So I moved my Rimland Nomad over a site, and then I moved the treetop hideout up so that I have like an avenue to start attacking his other side of his water. Because like I want to attack that wasteland way on the other side of the realm. But technically I shouldn't have been able to take that back because the pirate ship could have moved to block, even though it wouldn't have actually blocked. Like it could have like run aground onto the forge, which like wouldn't have changed anything, but like technically I gained the information of him not doing that. I don't know. Like if my opponent had been like, well, you gained information, like I didn't block with my pirate ship, then I would have been forced to be like, oh yeah, you're right. Like I shouldn't have been able to take that back. My bad. The Rimland Nomad's where it is, whatever. Like I did this before I did my attacks. Anyway, it's not like it really mattered, but yeah, so I'm just crashing in with 2-power dudes. Oh yeah, he moved over and cast Burning Hands. Maybe I should go back for just a second to highlight that play, because I think that was actually a mistake as well. So this was the board, and then he moved over and cast Burning Hands to deal 2 to this and 1 to this and kill both. This is actually immortal. A lot of people forget about that. Pirate ship, for some reason, like, you know, really it's like the crew of the pirate ship are mortals, but this is immortal. So this actually could have just dealt 2 to this, 2 to this, and 1 to me. So that would have killed 2 like more relevant minions. Like obviously the Rimland Nomad's just way better than the Weightless Squire, and then it would have dealt 1 damage to me, and he wouldn't have had to move over. So I think that was kind of a big misplay. But kind of an easy thing to miss. Like prior to like doing the full set review and like rereading every single card, like I might have made the same mistake and just not even thought of like what is the minion type of my pirate ship, but can't really blame him for that. So yeah. So I'm just applying more pressure. I mean, I got like really, really good trades. So like turn 1 I made a forge, and then I put a blacksmith family there and killed his Shellycoat with the lance. And then I was able to eat his red cap poweries also with a lance from my Reckless Squire, and then I was able to eat his Vikings also with a lance with my Weightless Squire. So yeah, these are just the things that you need to be thinking of. You can't just put minions in front of minions and hope that it works out. Like you need to put them diagonal, ideally in a spot where you can still attack your opponent's site. Like you should have put that Vikings on that pond so that he could attack my wasteland if he really wanted to next turn, or it would have made it so that I would have to like leave a chump blocker behind or something. I can't just attack his sites and ignore that. Okay, so then here he plays Rolling Boulder and kills my roaming monster, which is again like really painful for him. Like he knows I just have a minion right next to his boulder. Like I'm just gonna move over there and grab his boulder. and at the same time just deal 4 more damage to you. And then I've got 6 mana this turn. So I think I'm going to play a minion, play Treetop Hideout. Oh, I don't have a hideout. I just play a Fireside. I think I put it next to my avatar because I have a grapple shot in hand. That just makes sense. You want to be able to move over and grapple shot. That's the idea there. And then attack for 4, pick up your boulder. I know like picking up doesn't necessarily mean anything because units there have tap, push the boulder, but I think it's kind of I'm not totally sure if it's always right to pick up the boulder because I've had the situation where I had a Koinixie and my opponent picked up the boulder and then I played Koinixie and was able to like pull him with the boulder onto my minion and then push the boulder. So it might not always be the right thing to do against water specifically, but you also just don't want them to like play like if they have a minion there already, you should pick it up because you don't want them to just pick it up and move it. Anyway, so I put 6 power on board. I grabbed his boulder. He like taps for a sight and then plays Helpful Hob. I hate Helpful Hob. It's so bad. And all he does with it is like I move my avatar forward. And then this is a really fun turn. So if you want to pause it here and try to figure out how to deal 10 damage, you can. I mean, I'm sure there's ways to deal 10 damage, but without spending a single card in hand is the trick. But that is what I'm calculating right now. And it's a really fun one because the sequencing really matters here. But there is a way to deal 10 damage and put him on Death's Door this turn. It's probably not that difficult to figure out, but yeah, attack for 2 with the Nomads. Move back with the Boulder. Use Blacksmith Family to push the Boulder. That will kill the Helpful Hob and deal 4 to him. And then you can crash in with the Lumbering Giant and deal the extra 4. So you had to push the boulder to kill the Helpful Hob, otherwise he could just chump block the Lumbering Giant, so that was the cool thing to do in that situation. And then I just move forward and pass. I consider for a second picking up I consider playing the Band of Thieves, but then I'm like, well, if he like casts Poison Nova plus plays a blocker or something crazy, like, I don't know. There's probably no way that he gets out of this, but this way I can just play Band of Thieves and then grapple shot if he kills all my minions somehow. So yeah, I guess if he casts, I don't know, if he casts Lava Flow and then played like a Sly Fox and then moved back, but he doesn't even have mana for that. I don't know if there's anything that he could have even done here, but yeah, he pushes the boulder and then he like plays a minion on the pirate ship, and then I untap and I play Band of Thieves and grapple shot and I win the game. So this was round 1, or well, it was technically round 3, but this is the first video that I'm doing in this series. So please follow along and watch all these videos. I promise they get really, really interesting. Like, I will say that at the end of round, I mean, every video that we get into this series, the matches get more and more intense, more difficult, and crazier stuff starts happening. Like, I'll say in the last video that I'm going to make in this series, something that is like a 1 in a million, I will say, chance of happening happens in the final match. So stay tuned for that. It's really, really interesting. I think everyone should watch it, and I think you can learn something from it. So thanks for watching this, and stay tuned for the next video.